In a town where loyalty is currency and secrets are always on the verge of exploding, Sonny Corinthos finds himself facing one of the most personal and volatile battles of his life. Not with an enemy from the streets of Port Charles, but within the family he's spent decades protecting. The man who once ruled over his empire with steely resolve and unwavering instinct is now caught between the fractured loyalties of those he loves most. And this time, it isn't a rival crime syndicate threatening to tear his world apart, it's Carly Spencer. After weeks of confusion surrounding the unexpected custody hearing involving Michael Corinthos and Willow Tate, the truth has come crashing down on Sonny with a weight heavier than he could have anticipated. While the world had assumed Michael was behind the legal proceedings to gain full custody of his children, Sonny has finally uncovered the truth. Carly, not Michael, initiated the entire case. Her reasoning, cloaked in fierce maternal protection and lingering resentment, is as personal as it is damaging. Sonny, still recovering from recent heart surgery and balancing the physical and emotional toll of a life lived in constant conflict, understands the ripple effects of Carly's decision far too well. To him, this isn't merely a legal issue, it's a wedge driven between a fragile family dynamic, one still reeling from past betrayals, hospitalizations, and trauma. And if he doesn't act quickly, it may be a wound they never recover from. With the truth in hand and urgency mounting, Sonny makes a calculated but heartfelt move. He approaches Willow, not with demands or threats, but with quiet desperation and the wisdom of a man who has lost too much already. He urges her to consider postponing the hearing, citing not only the damage it would do to Michael and the children, but also the lack of foundation behind Carly's aggressive tactics. Willow, caught in the crossfire of conflicting loyalties, hears Sonny out. After all, Michael, still recovering and unable to provide consistent care for their children, never asked for this hearing. It's a battle someone else is fighting in his name. Carly, however, doesn't take betrayal lightly, and to her, Sonny's request reeks of manipulation. Her mind immediately jumps to Nina Reeves. Despite their shaky and transactional alliance, Carly suspects that Sonny's attempt to delay the custody hearing is rooted in his lingering affection for Nina, and possibly a strategic maneuver to grant her access to the children. The idea is unbearable. Carly has long distrusted Nina, and watching her inch closer to Sonny's inner circle has stoked a simmering fury in her for months. Now, that fury is ready to erupt. Her paranoia is further fueled by the fact that Nina's own behavior has grown increasingly erratic. The once controlled and calculated Nina is now openly hostile, even going so far as to confront Carly with a brutal slap, blaming her for the unraveling alliance. It's a moment that marks a turning point. The fragile truce between the two women is shattered, and whatever motives Nina once had in aligning with Carly are buried under a heap of unresolved jealousy, betrayal, and fear. But Nina's anger isn't only about Carly's maneuverings. Deep down, she's wrestling with the reality that her influence, both over Sonny and the children, is slipping away. She had hoped to play the long game, working alongside Carly until Drew was completely isolated and the children were safely distanced from what she perceived as a dangerous situation. But Carly's impulsive legal move has blown up that strategy, and Nina is left grasping for control in a spiraling situation. Meanwhile, Sonny walks a perilous tightrope. His health is fragile, and the emotional strain is quickly becoming unbearable. Every conversation with Willow is laced with the weight of what's at stake, not just legally, but emotionally. He knows Michael's wishes would never align with what Carly is trying to do. Michael had chosen Willow not just as a partner but as a mother for his children, and that trust should not be undermined, especially not by someone acting out of pain rather than purpose. Still, Sonny is no stranger to war. He recognizes that sometimes the most effective way to protect your family isn't through confrontation, but through diplomacy. So he remains calm, methodical, and above all, focused on the end goal, giving Michael and Willow the space they need to heal and co-parent without interference. His plea to Willow is simple: don't make a decision now that will tear the children's lives apart. Let time work its course. Let Michael recover. Let emotions settle. Carly, however, refuses to back down. Her vision is clouded by a deep-rooted fear that Willow, and by extension Drew, represents a threat to the children's well-being. Her instincts are maternal, but her judgment is increasingly compromised. She believes she is acting in the children's best interest, but in doing so, she's unwittingly sowing seeds of resentment that could fracture her family for good. Her feud with Nina has bled into every decision she makes, turning even the most innocent of intentions into collateral damage in a broader war. As all of this unfolds, Port Charles watches quietly from the sidelines, knowing that any conflict involving Sonny Corinthos eventually has far-reaching consequences. The once unshakable alliance between Carly and Sonny is now an open wound, and Nina's volatile presence has only worsened the infection. The children, still too young to understand the true cost of power, pride, and betrayal, stand at the center of a storm that only the adults can calm. Willow, caught between her loyalty to Michael and her gratitude toward Sonny, now holds the power to delay or escalate the conflict. If she listens to Sonny, she may offer everyone a chance to breathe, to reset, and to refocus on what truly matters. If she sides with Carly, the hearing will proceed, and a family that has already endured so much may find itself in ruins once again. In the end, this is not just a battle for custody, it's a battle for integrity, for trust, and for the legacy of a family that has weathered more storms than most. Sonny knows what's at stake. Carly thinks she does. And Willow must decide which version of the future she's willing to fight for.